This closer involvement, as I say, deeply concerning for Ukraine, which is suffering battlefield losses in the east. They say that the presence of North Korean troops pose a huge risk of escalation, with this war potentially stretching beyond its current borders.
American officials, of course, condemning the growing military alliance in a war that's gone on way too long.
Iran, they gave, drones, licenses to produce these drones and missiles. Yes, but not people, not officially, yes? And here we see this first step in this war, and this is the first step to a world war.
South Korea is demanding the immediate withdrawal of North Korean troops in Russia, summoning the Russian ambassador in Seoul in protest. It's also warned of a response to any acts that could threaten its core interests.
In the meantime, South Korea is the only country to confirm North Korea's deployment of troops for Russia. An official told reporters that responses could be through diplomacy, economic retaliations, or even military action. In addition, the top office says it's opened the possibility of the military cooperation between Pyongyang and Moscow threatening peace on the Korean peninsula, and possible scenarios are being reviewed.
But this is really significant. This could mean, if the North Korean troops are used in combat, that North Korea will be fighting for the first time in its existence in Europe against Ukraine. Volodymyr Zelensky says this could be the first step towards world war.
And then there's North Korea as well. North Korean soldiers have reportedly been filmed receiving Russian uniforms and equipment at a training ground at the Kremlin's Far East region over the weekend, Gordon. Ukraine's military intelligence chief has warned that 11,000 North Korean troops stationed in Russia are ready to fight. By November 1st, he says 2,600 North Korean soldiers will also be deployed to Russia's Kursk region, where Ukraine holds a significant amount of territory. So, Gordon, it looks like North Korea is rallying to the call of Russia as well.
Wie funktioniert eigentlich die Pflege daheim?
The bonds among those hostile powers are tightening. Now, those 10 or 12,000 regular North Korean troops, North Korea's regular army isn't very good. But in eastern Russia, they're training 1,200 special operators. And North Korea's special operators are among the best in the world. And so those guys can do a lot of damage, especially if their numbers are augmented, which they undoubtedly will be. In here, what we're seeing, and ultimately, is that China, Russia, North Korea, Iran see Ukraine as the future of the world. If they win there, they will win the world. If they lose there, we have a chance of reestablishing order in the very troubling, turbulent world right now. So clearly, this is where we should draw the line, and clear because the Russians and the Chinese and everybody else is doing so as well.
The government will implement phased response measures according to the progress of military cooperation between Russia and North Korea following North Korea's dispatch of combat troops. In this process, we will closely coordinate with our allies and friendly nations to ensure that strong and effective measures are taken against the Russia-North Korea military cooperation.
But first, South Korea may consider directly supplying weapons to Ukraine as part of measures to counter military cooperation between North Korea and Russia. Now, Seoul has accused Pyongyang of sending troops to fight for Moscow and is also considering sending personnel to Ukraine to monitor the North's troops.
정부는 북한군의 즉각적인 철수를 촉구하며 현재와 같은 북한과 러시아의 군사적 야합이 지속될 경우 이를 좌시하지 않고 국제사회와 함께 단호하게 대처해 나가기로 했습니다. 정부는 북한의 전투병력 파병에 따른 러북 군사협력의 진전 추이에 따라 단계적인 대응 조치를 실행해 나갈 것입니다.
South Korea's deputy national advisor says Pyongyang is acting like a criminal organization by sending young troops to fight for the Kremlin.
On Monday, the Kremlin confirmed the collaboration.
North Korea is our close neighbor, our partner, and we're developing our relations in all fields. It's our sovereign rights. We will further develop this cooperation.
These latest developments are of significant concern for South Korea, as the military alliance could become a serious threat to peace in the region. In exchange for his troops, Kim Jong-un hopes to receive Russia's latest military technology, be it satellites or submarines. Last Thursday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said that North Korean involvement in the war would significantly increase the threat level in the region.
Its National Intelligence Service released satellite images that it says shows the activities of Russian ships transporting North Korean soldiers. The agency also released images that it says shows Russian ships carrying North Korean weapons, as well as satellite images of suspected North Korean mass gatherings at military facilities in Russia.
David Lammy and the UK Foreign Office have been referencing those reports. We've been hearing David Lammy describe it as a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of conflict, is how he's been putting this as he visits South Korea. He says, David Lammy, North Korea is supporting Russia and prolonging conflict on Europe's borders. He also talks, David Lammy, about what he describes as their illegal weapons of mass destruction program, which he says threatens national security.
Volodymyr Zelensky, Ukraine's military intelligence service, and they're all saying that somewhere in the region of 10 to 12,000 North Korean troops are already in Russia, in the far east of Russia, Khabarovsk, Vladivostok, Ussurisk, Blagoveshchensk, all towns on the border with China. In the case of Vladivostok, also very near to the border with North Korea. So they're there, they're being trained, apparently. According to the National Intelligence Service of South Korea, they're being issued with Russian uniforms and IDs, false IDs, from parts of Russia's far east, from Yakutia and Buryatia, where the people are quite Asiatic looking, so I suppose they may just be surmising that they could get away as being Buryats or Yakuts.
And that's what's causing so much concern, not only in this region, but also, of course, in Ukraine, where they're seeing some defeats in the battlefield, especially in eastern Ukraine.
And of course, this being a war that's gone on for so long, Britt, the United States has weighed in on this potential threat. What more do we know about that?
Yes, so we know that White House spokesperson John Kirby, he said that they are looking into those reports. We also heard from a UN representative of the United States, and basically he was sounding the alarm too of this dangerous development. He was basically saying that if true, it marks a dangerous and highly concerning development.
중단할 것을 강력히 경고합니다. 우리 군은 국민 안전을 지키기 위한 필요한 조치들을 강구해 갈 것입니다.
The Russian embassy in South Korea has released a statement saying that cooperation with the North is not directed against the South's security interests.
Talking about what the Foreign Office is calling the first UK and South Korea foreign and defence ministerial 2+2 dialogue. That's described by the UK as a set-piece consultation, which will further, it says, enhance cooperation on regional peace and security issues.